All right, time for another one here. So continuing on with the spa work here, we got the Cultural Plaza. This is the smaller Sekhe spa sign. You guys already did the bigger one. I know Jose was involved, but you were involved with it too. So you guys have already basically been to school. This guy is basically as high as your shoulder. It's only 65 inches. It's not as big. So everything is just going to be a little smaller. So I'm just going to touch on the deltas, the differences between the two, since you already have your eye in with the bigger one. There's not really a whole, not a need to explain everything. So let's just talk about the differences. We've got, basically it's double faced. So there's that, but it's the same logo, just a little bit smaller and a little skinnier. Instead of 8 inches wide, it's 6.5. And it's got two blades. Since it's double faced, it's got two sidecar blades instead of just one. And these are only 4 inches wide instead of 5. So everything's just proportionally shrunk. So that's pretty much it. Let me go over a few things though. Let's hit the lay of the land as we do. You've got your frame parts. You've got your left sidecar and your right sidecar that gives you all the parts you need, gives you your jigs and everything. You got your faces. You got your skins, main, top, and the little top there. You got your jiggies here. These are going to be some custom jiggies that actually have bends. So you're going to actually bend these jigs. But otherwise, it's going to be the same as the other one, just smaller. You got two logos. Look out for that. I went ahead and added the drain hole for you just to make things easier. So look for the reference kisses there. And you got a birdhouse like we do. It's literally the same birdhouse. Power is going to be a little different. I'll go over that. And we've got the same 1/4 inch parts basically, except it's a little smaller. And guess what? I did give you your two rails this time. Yay me. And you got these two little hanger pieces. Look out for those. Similar to the one that was on the other one, except they're just longer to do both sides. Keep an eye out for those. Don't lose those. You got 3/16 wide acrylic, just like the other one, just smaller. And you also have pushies, but it's both sides, so look for two. And you have pushies again, just smaller, and there's two sets. So watch out for those. And then, oops. And then you've got your logo faces. Same thing, it's 3/4 inch clear, just smaller. All right, so again, you already know how to build it. I'm just gonna go over the deltas. Let's go with the sidecars first. They are they're a little more thin. They're 1 inch thinner, so it's only 4 inches wide. So because of that, we don't really have room to put the white on white LEDs like you do on the other one. So LEDs are going to be a direct hit to the back of the skin there. So it's going to be closed up, and you're just going to, after paint, you're going to reach in. You still have the ability to reach in top and bottom, but you're going to direct stick the LEDs to the back, and it's going to light the front. Also, like we do, you can go ahead and cut this and clean it up for yourself. So that's how you're going to access that. But otherwise, it's the same as the other one. I think you should be able to get these in there. I kind of checked the size. You should be able to get them in there and, reach and get all that taken care of. One thing when it comes time to leash these up, jumping ahead, the power is going to be on the inside. I know on the bigger one, because this sidecar is so much bigger, it's a little more pain in the butt to take off. I went ahead and did that tray system where I'm hanging the power supplies out into this. I'm not doing that. The power supplies are going to be inboard inside. So sorry install, but you're going to have to take these off to get to the power supplies. But it's just the 4 5/16 riv nuts. But that being said, on both sidecars, Fab, make sure the leashes are long enough out the back here in order to take this sidecar off and be able to carefully set it on the ground, so that way they can get in there and work, and then bring it back and then reattach it. So just make the leashes long enough for serviceability on both sidecars. So you have your right-hand side and your left-hand side. Always pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side though. So there's that. So that's sidecar. And then the power, like I said, is going to be different because there's not really a whole lot of room in here. As usual, it was 6.5 inches wide. I did something we haven't done yet. As always, there's something new. Your jigs are going to be one piece here, right? So you got this jig here and this jig. This is all going to be one piece. It's going to poke through, and then it's going to take care of these two supports. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bend this down, and it's going to create, you can see where the green is right here. It's going to create this tray, And then you can take the power supply tray, which is going to be this guy, and he's going to sit. You can see where here's your rovels for your number 10s. And those rovels for your number 10s are going to sit on these little ears here. So you can see where that's your hole there. And then the other one's going to be here. So you're just going to clamp and bend, and that should give like a little support tray to set the power supply tray and a cover that is just going to sit like this. So there'll be a little cover, and it's going to sit, and cover up the power supplies, and then you'll be able to access. So install will have this opening here, and fab when you guys do go to put it together. So you'll have this wide opening here, and you'll have access to your power supplies. So you can just frap, take this cover off. You'll have access here. You'll run your wires over to the birdhouse. It's the same birdhouse as the other one. And so nothing new there. But that's just more of an imaginative way. But again, sorry, install, you're gonna have to take this off every time, but hopefully you don't need to get in power supplies that often. Now remember, we're doing the poster box Slims. Those are a horrible sounding cigarette. So, but because this is gonna be a double-sided sign, you're gonna have pushies on both sides. We're gonna run, these are a little different. They're the same species, but they're just a little bit different. I'm going to put the poster box down the middle. And so you're going to run 7 down the middle here, and it's going to light both sides. Now, as always, our signs always seem to be kind of in the middle of the like tolerances. So Sloan on their website says 5 inches or skinnier, but then the bigger version is like 8 inches and wider. So I think we'll be okay because I brought these down quite a bit so you can see where they start. So I think their sprinkler cone pattern for the photons will be low enough. And this is only like 8 inches tall. So I think we'll have plenty of coverage. But if having this in the center isn't quite good enough, possibly have some remember, these are all 6500K. So maybe have some 6500K prisms. Maybe you can augment that and kind of add to it, because you can maybe right along here, you could stick some prisms, or actually it's this one on A. You can stick some prisms along and maybe add some photons in here if you have to. So again, it should be within spec-ish, but Sloan is, it's always, our stuff's always right in the middle. So anyway, but it's going to be similar to the other one you're doing, except it's going to be a 1-piece tray. That's up here. So you're going to bend it 1, 2. And then you're going to take the 7 of them and put them all along there. And then I did do a tester. You should be able to bring this tray thing, if you bend it like this, if you bring it down through the top, and then you should be able to pivot it and kind of make it fit in here. So I tried that. So it might be a little bit of a tight fit, but you should be okay to get this little tray in there from the top. The other thing I wanted to point out is that, so that's power and all that, but it's the same as the other one. Don't forget your 5/16 rib nuts. Okay, so for this one, this is going to be probably the least structurally sound sign we've made in quite a while. It should be fine because this is only 40 inches, 38 inches across up here. This sign is not very big, but there is literally going to be because this is double face and it's only 6.5 inches wide. I'm not going to be able to run any sort of tubing or structure up through like that. It's basically going to be hollow in here. And in order to clear the push-throughs, I've had to notch the frame as well. So on the straight side, we've got this notch just to clear the A on one side. And then when that A swings around on the other side, we're notching the jig for the curve side over here. And you're seeing that this is going to be notched as well. So I'm not saying that this is going to fold up right here and just bend on you and just fold in half, but this will probably be one of the weaker signs we've made. So just be cautious of that. So basically like from here down, we're fine, right? This is all our normal structure. And then not until, and having a curve here gives you sort of an extrusion strength. So it should be fine, but just be cautious when you're, setting it up on your table. And if you set it up here first and let it sit, don't strain this too much because this is literally a crease point, right? Like right through here is a crease point. So here and here. So just be careful. Once the faces are on, then you'll have the benefit of the shear strength. And that's when we'll go monocoque and you'll be okay. But just keep that in mind. I know that we don't roughhouse or anything, but just watch it. I did do this jig special that where this jig will be connected through here just to give it that extra strength. So you'll see that this little runner here, go ahead and tack this up really well, because that will get us closer to, you know, 0.9 plus 0.9 is almost 3/16. So that should help strengthen this part where it's weak. So anyway, like I said, it's not going to fold up like aluminum foil. Just be cautious that there's no structure in this area. So otherwise, so watch that, but I think otherwise we're all good. I gave you your cut list. You just have a little chunk of 2x 20.5er. It's just like the other one. You're just going to burn it to the base, and that way at least it'll connect here, and that'll give us a nice little strength here. And then it's the same as the base as you had below, except we only need a 3x. So this is 3x3 by 3/16. This is your footing. It's 2 inches below grade right here. This is grade for install if you're watching. You've got your 2 inches below grade or whatever. And then you've got your footing there. Install power will come through here and just poke up into here, and we're good to go. But you just burn that like we do, 1/2 inch nuts. So otherwise, it's the same as the other one. So I think you guys got your eye in. This is just the difference between them. And it's the same thing as the other one. Whatever you're doing, if it's going to be paint or vinyl, we don't want a glow ring. So make sure that this gets opaqued on the edge, and it matches the color of the logo there. Yeah, so this logo there. So make sure it's all good. So, and then like I said, I did talk to install, because this guy is only going to be about your shoulder. It's not going to be that big. There is no lift point, so don't worry about any kind of lift point. They'll be able to just kind of muscle it around, and just do like you did before. You're just going to Lords. I got 1/9/3s there, Lords it up, and then maybe shoot some 1/4 inch self tappers through these holes, because you know these are 3/16. So just go ahead and hit those up with some Hilti self tappers, and they'll be nice and strong. So, but otherwise, yeah, I think we're good. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Check the technique. Check the technique. See if you can follow it.